In this laboratory, we're going to shoot a physics cart down our CPO track. We're going to use a rubber band in order to shoot it down the track the same way every single time. The question becomes, what can we say about the speed or velocity of the cart here versus the speed or the velocity of the cart here? What do you think is going to happen? Is it going to go faster? Is it going to go slower? Or is it going to stay the same velocity? Recording, that's fine. So we've set up the straight track and we have a rubber band here, but we need to move this plunger so it is anywhere between 2 and 3 centimeters away. We can do that by using a meter stick and then adjusting this plunger so that the rubber band is 3 centimeters away from the plunger. So when it comes time to shooting the car, we bring the car back with the rubber band so it just barely touches that plunger. To do that, I suggest you hold this little plastic ridge and you pull back while resting your hand on this vertical piece. Just barely back, and then when you release, make sure to get your finger out of the way as fast as you possibly can. We're going to start with our photo gate at the first dark spot on the track, which is right here. And then in our next experiment, we will move the photo gate 5 centimeters or 0.05 meters away to here, and then here, and here, and here. You'll see that you're going to have difficulty here because the photo gate simply will not sit on the track correctly. That's alright, just skip those points and move on to down the track.
For our first experiment, we're going to place the photo gate on the black dot, shoot the car through, and you'll see that A here is lit up, and it took 0.0093 seconds for the flag to get through the photo gate.
Alright, at this point, if we pull up our data table, I don't believe you're going to be able to type on this, so I suggest you you select File, and then make a copy. And when it says Copy of Survey Lab, why don't you place your last name so you can keep them straight. So here's a data table very similar to the one that's shown in your lab, but this one has a little bit of functionality to it. As you put numbers in here, this yellow box will tell you how close your numbers are to mine. So this first measurement here, the time it took when I ran the experiment, it took 0.0093. Now you'll notice the font that shows up here is different than the font that shows up here. That's to figure out what you wrote versus what was there in the laboratory before. Now, when I hit enter, watch what happens to the average percent error of measurements. Did that number go down? In other words, all of these boxes are coming a little bit closer to the measurements in which I made. There's another box that's orange that is about the calculations, and as a matter of convention, I will try and make every calculation in laboratories gray so you kind of know what you take as a measurement and what you need to calculate, maybe with your calculator. As you put calculations in these gray boxes, I would expect that this number would start to approach 0 as well. Let me warn you, you're never going to actually make 0.00%, but try and make it as low as possible.